Alright everyone, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you my garden plan. It's not anything fancy and you don't have to be super fancy with it, but I'm just going to go really quickly through what I did. So I just went and got a spiral bound notebook, and I actually got this last year during the back to school sales, and I just held on to it until I needed it for something. So this is my garden notebook. It's just a spiral bound notebook. You can use a plain one. I just like getting the ones with like stuff on the front, and that way I know immediately that this is my garden notebook. So the first thing I did was I did a budget, and I figured out what things that I would need for the garden. So I did a budget page, and this is my budget page, and I listed everything I needed, and then I put the budget on here. And it was just super simple for me to do that. Like, some of the things that I need is a rain barrel. I need like a little storage thing, which I could probably even get for free off Craigslist or something like that. I need my grow bags. I need soil, seeds, plants. I actually need power tools because we don't have any. And then I just gave myself a budget for other supplies, just in case I need something else. You never know. So another thing I did was I went online and I looked up my community garden, or my local community garden association, which I'm really lucky to live here in Kansas City. They have an awesome place called Kansas City Community Gardens, and what they do is everyone in the Kansas City metro area is eligible for this program, and what they do is they help schools build community gardens. They help communities build community gardens, and they also help low-income people with their backyard gardening or their home gardening. And so I qualify for the low-income help with gardening. So what I do is I get my seeds, I get my fertilizer, I get most of my plants, and I get tools at a discounted price. And they have other stuff. They have tomato cages and straw bales that are a few dollars cheaper than I could get them elsewhere. So that is amazing for me because I do have a really tight budget. Me and my husband only live off of his one income, and so that was really essential for me to be able to be in that be a member to an organization like that. So one of my recommendations for you is to check and see if there's something similar in your local area that helps people with community gardens. You never know, they might be able to help low-income people also with their home gardens. So definitely check out if there's something like that in your area. So because I have access to this organization, I go on their website and I see what kind of seeds they have, I see what kind of plants they're going to have, and I see what other things they're going to have, the bulbs and flowers and stuff like that, and I kind of plan my garden around that. So my garden planning is a little bit easier than a lot of other people because I just kind of go by what the community gardens say, and they have a pretty good grip on what grows well in the area we are in Missouri. So I went on there, and this is the list of stuff that I came up with that I'm going to grow in my garden. And what you could do is you could just go online and research what write the list of plants that you may or may not want to grow, and then research them online and see which ones would be best for your area, and then make your list according to that. And also make sure you're doing your list looking at what kind of herbs keep certain bugs away, the companion planting for certain things, and what you want to plant with what. And I'll be doing another video on that later on, but for right now I'm just showing y'all what I did as far as that. So this is the stuff that I'm going to be planting. I'm going to try to plant one pot of loofah gourds, and I know they might take up a lot of space, we'll see, but I just kind of wanted to fool around with them because I love those things. They're so cool. If you don't know what a loofah gourd is, go look it up on YouTube. And then I have my pumpkin, my Kakai pumpkins, my yellow dole watermelons, And then I have my sugar pumpkins, marigolds, and zinnias. And then I have, what on there? Nasturtiums. And then these are all the potatoes and the onions and stuff that they have available. And then these are the plants that they were going to have available. So this is all the stuff that I wrote down that I might want to have in my garden that Kansas City Community Garden has. And then on the next page, I took all of that. And I also have seeds that I have left over from last year when I went to the Kansas City Community Gardens. So I'm going to be seeding those tomorrow. And I kind of just put a list of the seeds that I have and when I need to plant them. So it doesn't have to be anything fancy, y'all. Just start writing out what you want, when you need to plant them, what seeds you have. Just write a list of when you need to plant them and everything. So after I did all that and I wrote the list of when to plant, I did the research one more time, just looked online to see when I need to plant seeds, when I need to plant plants, and going by when I'm going to be buying plants at the community gardens. And this is the list, my final garden plan list, and I put final kinda garden plan because I'm probably going to do one more final draft. And this is all the stuff that I have. So this is seed starting in March, and then I have a plant outside between now and April, and I listed just everything that is under each category, when I need to plant it, when I'm going to be getting the plants. And I actually didn't put the dates on here. I'm going to add the dates. I just remembered to do that for when they are going to have their plant sales. And these are all the flowers that I want to grow, and then these are the herbs that I'm going to grow. And some of these things I'm actually also going to start inside, and I'll give you all a better look at all of that once I am once I have the final plan. It might not even be a final plan because it's kind of like a fluid thing. So don't be afraid to change your mind with this stuff. Just make sure that you know when to plant stuff and when to start stuff from seeds, when to go buy plants at the nursery and all that stuff. Just make sure you're doing the research, and then you write down what you want to do. That's really all you have to do. Like, it doesn't have to be fancy. You don't need any fancy charts or anything. You can just scribble stuff or whatnot. So this is the last thing I'm going to show you is the little sketch that I drew. It was snowing outside, it was still cold, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna look out my window at my patio and kind of get a feel for the layout, and then I'm just gonna do a rough sketch of what I want my garden to look like this year. And this is what I came up with. So this is the garden, a rough sketch of it. So, and this is my steps from my door. This is where I'm going to be putting the table and the chairs I showed you outside. This is the bike storage and some other storage I'm going to do. And then all of these are plants. The little circles are plants. All along here I plan to do the flowers. And then this is the palette garden. And then I have storage for my tools there. And my compost is here. And then I have a couple more plants there, and then my palette herbs here. I have a grow bag that I drew there, and then these are the big grow bags. So that is pretty much how I want it to look out there, but we will see. I'm gonna redo this in a bigger drawing of it, and I'm gonna do it on actual drawing paper and see if I can get a better feel of what I want. And then that way, when I go to do my companion planning plan of where I want to plant certain things, I can just take this and draw it and then kind of color code it and stuff like that. And I'll show y'all when I do that. But that is the plan. So you don't really need to do anything fancy. Like I said in my other video, if you want to start gardening, just start with something. Just start growing plants inside, on your patio, on your deck, whatever. Just start doing it and do your research. Just read online. There's lots of free resources on the internet, lots of free resources on YouTube. Just do the research and just start somewhere. It does not have to be an overwhelming process. And just know that if you don't feel like you're doing a good job at first, that it does get better as you continue to learn. So if you are feeling overwhelmed, or if you have done gardening before and it didn't work out and you still want to try again, just get back out there and do it and go for it. And that is what my advice is for that. So I hope y'all had a fun time with me today. The sun has been going down slowly during me filming this part of the video, and it was a little bit longer than I expected, so I hope you stuck around with me. And you know, I just want to encourage people with these videos that anyone can garden. I am not an expert, and I've only been gardening for a little less than a year now. So I started a summer garden last year, and so I haven't even been gardening for a year. This is just a product of me researching, watching YouTube videos, and just, you know, soaking up all the information, writing stuff down. And this is what I've come up with for my garden. And your garden might look completely different than mine. Your garden might be completely different type of garden. You might just want to grow an indoor garden, but whatever you want to do, just go for it. Just go for it. So I hope y'all enjoyed this. I will be keeping you up to date with how my gardening process is going throughout this process, and we will see how it goes. Like I said, I will share the failures and the successes with y'all, and it's just going to be a fun process for me, and I hope that y'all enjoy it too. Have a very blessed day, and I will see y'all again soon. Bye.